As I thought about what I would say to you today, and the memories come back to this ground, the colonial government built the hospital here and opened it in 1952. Sir Alexander Bustamante was the head of the government at the time. It was a colonial government. The budget to build the hospital at the time was £180,000. £123,000 were provided from the colonial government. The government of Britain gave that as a grant to build the hospital. The government of Jamaica, meaning the local taxes of Jamaica, provided the rest. It was part of a larger plan for the development of the island by the colonial powers. I digress into that kind of history and context to say to you that the vision for healthcare, which was laid out by the colonial powers, laid out by our founding fathers as an independent nation, somehow that vision got stalled. What decisions did we make about the governments that we have elected that did not administer the affairs of the country in a proper way? That there would be the resources available as they are today. For a government to stand up and say, we are not only looking for a grant, which we are grateful from the European Union of £10 million. We are not only going to borrow $50 million from the IDB, but your government, your taxes, which have been properly utilized, properly, when we talk about fiscal responsibility, the average person takes it for granted. But this government has managed your fiscal affairs, your revenues, the taxes that you pay. We have managed it in such a way that today, from our budget, we can say we will allocate $87 million from our budget. So yes, we do get some grants. Yes, we have to borrow. Still our responsibility, we're going to pay it back. But the greater part of this investment comes from the productivity of the Jamaican people. In the same way we are building the Montego Bay bypass, all of that comes from the budget, the revenues of the people. Managing the economy properly is rocket science, but it is not a secret. When I look back historically, it is clear that we deviated from the right path of managing the economy, which would increase the productivity of the people, and then that productivity is used to further invest in the human capital development, which creates greater productivity, which creates greater human capital development. When has Jamaica experienced a shock? Meaning, oil price shocks in the 70s, commodity price shocks that resulted from that, hurricane shocks like Gov't, financial shocks like FinSac or the 2009 financial collapse, and recovered immediately. It has taken us decades to recover from those shocks. But because we have built the economy on strong footing, putting in the necessary fiscal buffers, making sure that we manage expenditure, we have been able to reduce our debt, reduce our debt servicing, so that we have more money to spend on the things that matter to you. Today is a perfect example of what a good economy delivers for its citizens.